Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Suburban Proletarian. I know it's been a while. For those of you who have been paying attention, I did a whole bunch of unboxings. I completely revamped my my watch collection, and I did a bunch of unboxings back in the, I think it was late winter. And in the intervening time, there's been a complete paradigm shift at my full-time job. I'm here now, and I've gone from being the guy who just gets stuff done to being the guy who has to make sure stuff gets done. And furthermore, I'm a one-man rodeo with 600 acres and somewhere between 20 and 30 buildings to keep up with. And in all honesty, I've been wanting to make videos, but by the time I get home at the end of the day, I'm so physically and mentally exhausted, I just don't feel like doing anything at all. But I was on my way out the gate tonight. I was just locking up on my way home, and we had a few thunderstorms blow through here recently, and right now the temperature has dropped about 20 degrees. We've been going through an enormous heat wave, which I'm sure many of you have also been experiencing, and the lighting is just perfect. We're in the golden hour, and I thought to myself as I was locking the gate, hey, I got my camera here, I got some stuff here. Why don't we just go ahead and make a video? So I don't remember which watch off the top of my head I unboxed first. I was going to try to do everything in order. But by far, the watch that I unboxed last winter that I have been wearing the absolute most, I do happen to have with me, and this is the Citizen Promaster Tough. And I have just been wearing this watch and wearing this watch, and I really like all the watches that I bought over the winter. I put a lot of thought into upgrading my collection. I'm wearing one of them right now, the Alpina Star Timer. Really digging this watch, and I'll be doing a follow-up video on this one as well, hopefully very soon. I'm really going to try to be focused and try to motivate myself to get back into the swing of making videos. But tonight, I want to take a look at the Citizen Promaster Tough, because again, by far I've been wearing this more than all of the other watches combined. It's very rarely been off my wrist. So I want to take a closer look at it. I'm out in the middle of a field. I don't have a tabletop. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're just going to do this handheld. Hopefully that works pretty well. And I'm interested to see how this video turns out. I'm probably a little bit rusty, and again, my mind has been other places, so if this isn't the greatest video I've ever done, I do apologize for that. But I know at least a couple of you have been waiting for these follow-up videos, and I want to get to doing them. So let's start right now. All right, guys, so here is the Citizen Promaster Tough. I went over most of the dimensions and everything when I did the unboxing, and obviously I do not have my digital caliper here to give you measurements. You can refer back to my earlier video if you really want those, or of course you can always consult Citizen's website. Mostly I want to talk about how this watch has held up. We've got a sapphire crystal, so there's absolutely no scratches on that. As I alluded to in my intro, I've been pretty much trying to run an enormous piece of property single-handedly for some time now. I do a lot of wrenching on equipment. I spend a lot of time running heavy equipment, and I have not been taking this watch off very often. And as you can see, I've only developed a few minor scratches on the off side of my wrist. As I went over before, this has a titanium nitride plating on the case and the bracelet. It's meant to be 7 times harder than steel, and I made a point in a video that I filmed this winter that I had developed a couple of small scratches on the bracelet in less than a week, and I didn't think that that really boded very well for this finish holding up or being as tough as Citizen claims. But in the intervening time, I really haven't developed too many other scratches. And I've literally had this watch on my wrist working in a machine shop. I've had it on my wrist with my arms under a mower deck, wrenching mower blades off. and doing all sorts of other things. And really, the case is absolutely pristine. The bracelet on the near side of my wrist is absolutely pristine. Even the buckle, which is usually a high wear spot, hasn't developed any scratches. Again, there are a few on the center links on the off side of my wrist. I don't even know if the camera is going to pick those up, but they're very, very minor. And I am getting the impression that the titanium nitride plating on this case and bracelet is in fact very, very tough. Hence the name, the Promaster Tough. Sapphire's in perfect shape, as I've already said. And I've been wearing this in and around the water quite a bit. I've had no water intrusion. Of course, this features 200 meters of water resistance. It does have a screw-down crown. And probably most impressively, and most importantly, and I did point this out in the last video, but the Promaster Tough does feature monocoque construction. There's no removable case back. There is no case back as we know it. Obviously, there's a back of the case, but it's all one solid piece. Presumably, when the watch is built, everything, all the guts of the watch are loaded in through the front of the case before the crystal's pressed in place. I've just been wearing this watch an awful lot, and I've been wearing it to do some really tough tasks, and the watch really isn't showing it at all. It's really taken everything I've dished out at it in stride, and I'm just fantastically impressed with the watch. I can't say enough good things about this. I don't want it to sound like a Citizen Promaster Tough commercial, but this watch is very quickly becoming maybe my favorite watch of all time, certainly one of them. This is one of those watches I would never, ever get rid of. Of course, it features Citizen's Eco Drive movement, so it could theoretically last forever. It never requires a battery change. Now, of course, even rechargeable batteries will give up the ghost eventually, but I wouldn't be surprised if I still have this watch in 20 years or 30 years and it's still running. I've had good luck with other Japanese solar-powered movements. I had one that lasted just about 20 years. And the way this watch is built, I just can't imagine what would kill it. So I guess I don't really have anything else to say about the watch that would be very useful. So why don't we go ahead and wrap this up? So the Citizen Promaster Tough is just so great. I don't want to spew too effusively about it, but I've just been wearing it all the time because it's such a perfect watch. It looks perfect. It's very plain, but I've gotten a lot of comments on it. It just has a very rugged feel to it. It's very, very solid. Again, I like all that all of the finishes on all the surfaces on the case and the bracelet are all brushed, nothing polished. It's just a really, really classic sort of watch. And it does remind me quite a great deal, I've mentioned this in the last video, it reminds me quite a great deal of the Victorinox Inox. And I really would like to do a head-to-head of these two watches at some point. But for the time being, I just have to say this is not only the favorite, my favorite watch of those I acquired over last winter. This may be my most favorite watch of all time, and I've owned some other pretty fantastic watches, including ones that cost quite a bit more than this one does. But it's just so perfect. I mean, it's the perfect field watch. I mean, it's not a great dress watch or something like that, but you could literally wear this on almost any occasion and not feel out of place or whatever. So again, I know I'm a little bit out of practice here, and I didn't have the ideal setup to make this video, but I really did want to get it out there and let you know just how great the Citizen Promaster Tough is. I'm going to try to get some other videos made in the near future. I'm going to try to stay motivated. And when I do that, I hope to see each of you here then. Later, guys.